Aging is a journey we all embark on, but it's not always the graceful, golden experience we imagine. Sure, there's wisdom and freedom in growing older, but there are also some unexpected, and frankly, unpleasant, realities that creep up as the years pass. No one hands you a guidebook for these moments, and they can catch even the most prepared off guard. Meet Elena, a spirited 67-year-old who's lived a full life of travel, friendships, and adventure. Lately, though, she's been navigating some surprising challenges that have left her frustrated, tired, and occasionally isolated. Her story is one many seniors can relate to, and it shines a light on the unspoken struggles of aging. Today, we're diving into 12 unpleasant things seniors often face as they age, things no one warns you about, along with practical tips to tackle them head-on. From memory slips to unexpected mood swings, these are the realities Elena and countless others encounter. So, let's explore her journey and discover how to handle these challenges with resilience and grace. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Forgetting names and key details. Elena was mortified recently when she bumped into a neighbor at the grocery store and completely blanked on her name, despite years of friendly chats over the backyard fence about gardening, kids, and the weather. She stood there, fumbling for words, her mind racing to recall even a single letter, only to come up empty. It's a sinking, almost humiliating feeling that many seniors can relate to. Your memory, once sharp as a tack, betrays you at the most inconvenient moment. These lapses are a normal part of aging. Brain processing slows, and the neural pathways that once fired instantly now take a detour or stall altogether. For Elena, it wasn't just the name. She also forgot the neighbor's dog's quirky nickname, a detail she'd laughed about dozens of times. While science says this is typical as we age, the emotional sting of feeling disconnected or incompetent can linger. What to do? Elena could start carrying a small, pocket-sized notebook, or better yet, use the Notes app on her smartphone to jot down names, quick descriptions, and key details about people she meets or knows. For instance, Linda, short gray hair, loves roses, has a terrier named Mr. Wiggles. Before heading to a social event, like a neighborhood potluck, she could set a quick reminder to review her notes. If she blanks out mid-conversation, there's no need to panic or fake it. Most people won't mind a polite, "I'm so sorry, your name slipped my mind, could you remind me?" It's a small vulnerability that often earns a smile, not judgment, and shows you care enough to get it right. Bonus tip, repeating the name aloud during the chat, "So, Linda, how's Mr. Wiggles?" can help cement it in memory. Over time, these little habits can turn a source of dread into a manageable quirk. 2. Sudden exhaustion out of nowhere. One sunny afternoon, Elena decided to whip up a simple lunch. Nothing fancy, just a turkey sandwich and a side of soup. But by the time she finished eating, she was so wiped out she couldn't muster the energy to rinse the dishes or even wipe the counter. She sank into her armchair, staring at the kitchen mess, wondering where her stamina had gone. Tasks that once felt like second nature, cooking, tidying up, running errands, now leave her drained, a shift that crept up so gradually she didn't see it coming until it hit her like a truck. This sudden fatigue is a hallmark of aging. Energy reserves shrink, muscle efficiency dips, and even the body's ability to process oxygen takes a hit. For Elena, it's not just physical. It's the frustration of feeling like her day's over before it's barely begun. What to do? The key is pacing. Elena could break her day into bite-sized chunks. Cook the sandwich, then sit with a cup of tea for 20 minutes before tackling the dishes. Rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Staying hydrated is critical too. Even mild dehydration can amplify exhaustion, so she might keep a water bottle nearby and sip throughout the day. Small, balanced meals, like that turkey sandwich with whole grain bread, a slice of avocado, and a handful of berries, can prevent the energy crashes that come from heavy, sugary foods. If she's up for it, a 15-minute nap isn't a sign of defeat but a strategic recharge. Studies show short naps boost alertness without disrupting nighttime sleep. The goal is to listen to her body's signals, not fight them, turning a tough day into a series of small wins. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 3. Unexpected weight gain. Elena's always prided herself on staying active. Daily walks with her husband, gardening on weekends, even the occasional yoga class with friends. So when she stepped on the scale last month and saw the numbers creeping up, she was baffled and, frankly, a little furious. Her routine hasn't changed much, yet her jeans feel tighter, especially around the waistline. It's a maddening reality tied to a slowing metabolism, one of aging's sneakiest tricks. As we get older, muscle mass naturally declines, and the body burns fewer calories at rest. For Elena, those extra pounds aren't just a number, they're a blow to her self-image, a reminder that her body's rules are shifting without her permission. Many seniors notice this, particularly in stubborn spots like the belly or hips, even if they're still moving as much as ever. What to do? Elena doesn't need a drastic overhaul, just smart adjustments. She could start by tweaking her portions to match her body's new, lower-calorie needs. Maybe that second slice of toast becomes half, or the creamy salad dressing swaps for a lighter vinaigrette. Prioritizing whole foods, think grilled chicken, steamed broccoli, and quinoa, over processed snacks like chips or cookies can keep her satisfied without the hidden calorie bombs. Exercise can help too, but it doesn't have to be intense. Adding a leisurely 20-minute walk after dinner or some light strength training, like lifting small hand weights while watching TV, can nudge her metabolism along. Consistency matters more than perfection. It's not about punishing herself, it's about adapting to a body that's still capable, just a little different now. 4. Endless doctor visits. Elena used to see her doctor once a year for a routine checkup, maybe twice if a cold turned nasty. Now, it feels like she's there every other week, a blood pressure tweak here, a joint pain consult there, an eye exam, a hearing test, a follow-up on that mysterious rash. Her calendar, once filled with coffee dates and book club meetups, is now a grid of medical appointments. It's overwhelming, and sometimes she wonders if she's turning into that person who's always at the clinic. But deep down, she knows it's a sign she's taking charge of her health, catching small issues before they snowball. Aging brings more wear and tear, and staying proactive means more time in the waiting room. It's a trade-off she's learning to accept. What to do? Organization is Elena's ally here. She could set up a dedicated health calendar, digital or paper, to track appointments, complete with alerts a day or two ahead. A small journal or app could log symptoms, like left knee stiff 3 days straight, and questions, should I switch meds? So she's not scrambling to remember during the visit. To make appointments less daunting, she might bring a book or podcast for the wait and treat herself to a coffee afterward, a little reward for showing up. If the schedule feels suffocating, she could ask her doctor to bundle checkups where possible, like pairing a blood test with a routine physical. Embracing this phase means seeing it as empowerment, not a burden. Staying ahead of problems is far better than letting them fester. 5. Trouble focusing. Elena had always found solace in the pages of a good book. Reading was her escape hatch, a way to slip into distant worlds, solve mysteries alongside clever detectives, or lose herself in sweeping romances. But lately, that magic has started to fray. She sits down with a novel, tea steaming beside her, only to find her eyes glazing over mid-paragraph. The words blur, her mind drifts, to the grocery list, a creak in the house, or nothing at all, and she's lost the thread again. By the time she flips back to retrace her steps, frustration has replaced the joy. It's not just annoying. It feels like a small betrayal. Concentration, once a reliable companion, wanes as we age, a subtle but persistent shift tied to the gradual fading of cognitive sharpness. For Elena, and so many like her, this turns a simple pleasure into something that feels more like a chore, an unwelcome reminder of time's quiet toll. What to do? The good news is that the mind, like a muscle, responds to exercise. Stimulate it with activities that spark curiosity and demand attention. Crossword puzzles that tease out forgotten words, Sudoku grids that flex logical thinking, or even jigsaw puzzles that reward patience with a picture. If reading still calls to her, try short bursts, a page or two of a light story, savored slowly, rather than a daunting chapter. Picking up a new hobby can also reignite that mental buzz. Knitting, with its rhythmic click of needles, or chess, where every move is a mini battle of wits. But it's not all about brain games. A healthy mind leans on a healthy body, So pair these efforts with solid sleep, more on that later, and regular movement. Think a brisk walk to feel the crisp air or a gentle sway to music at home. Together, these habits can sharpen the edges of focus and bring back some of that old delight. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 6. Shrinking social circles. Elena used to mark her weeks by coffee dates with friends, those warm, laughter-filled mornings where stories spilled over the rims of mugs. Now, those gatherings are rare. Some friends have moved away, chasing grandchildren or sunnier climates. Others have slipped beyond reach, lost to time or illness. The phone doesn't ring as often, and her calendar sits emptier than it once did. Loneliness creeps in like a fog, quiet, persistent, a dull ache she doesn't always name. It's a familiar shadow for many seniors, as mobility falters or loss carves gaps in their world. For Elena, the silence feels heavier on days when the house seems too big, and even the chirping birds outside her window can't quite fill the void left by those missing voices. What to do? Connection doesn't have to fade, it just needs a new shape. Seek out local groups where shared interests can spark conversation. A book club dissecting the latest bestseller, a senior center hosting card games or craft afternoons, or even a gardening club where dirt-stained hands swap tips. If getting out is tricky, the online world offers a lifeline. Forums for hobbyists, video calls with distant friends, or social media groups buzzing with like-minded souls. Don't overlook the small stuff either. A quick chat with a neighbor over the fence about the weather or a wave to the mail carrier can ripple into something warmer over time. It's not about rebuilding a crowd. It's about finding threads of connection that feel genuine. One good conversation can outweigh a dozen shallow ones, lifting spirits in ways Elena might not expect. 7. Stiffening up. There was a time when Elena moved through her days with ease, bending to tie her shoes without a second thought, strolling around the block to catch the sunset, or reaching up to grab a jar from the top shelf. Now, every motion comes with a catch. Her knees creak like old floorboards, her back protests with a dull twinge, and her fingers fumble where they once flowed. It's as if her body has grown stubborn, reluctant to bend or stretch as it used to. This stiffening isn't just inconvenient. It's frustrating, a daily reminder that age has tightened its grip on her joints and muscles. Mobility declines as flexibility ebbs away, turning once effortless tasks into small battles she doesn't always feel like fighting. What to do? The key is to move with purpose, but gently. Start with daily stretches, simple ones, like reaching for the sky to loosen shoulders or easing into a seated twist to wake up the spine. Low-impact activities can work wonders too. Yoga, with its slow, mindful poses, or swimming, where water cradles the body and eases strain. Strength matters as much as flexibility, so focus on building it in the legs and core. Think chair squats or standing leg lifts, to shore up balance and fend off falls. The trick is to start small. 5 minutes today, 10 tomorrow, letting consistency outshine intensity. Pair this with comfortable shoes and maybe a warm compress on sore spots. Over time, Elena might find her steps a little lighter, her mornings less creaky, a quiet victory over stiffness. 8. Sleepless nights. Sleep used to be Elena's refuge, a soft landing after the day's hustle. She'd sink into her pillow, drift off to the hum of crickets, and wake refreshed. Now, it's a different story. Night after night, she tosses and turns, chasing rest that slips away like a dream she can't hold. Sometimes it's a racing mind, worries about tomorrow or echoes of yesterday, that keeps her up. Other times, it's an ache in her hip or a sudden flush of heat. She wakes groggy, bleary-eyed, staring down a day that feels longer without that recharge. Hormonal shifts, stress, or plain old discomfort often unravel sleep patterns as we age, turning what was once a given into a nightly negotiation. What to do? Routine is the anchor here. Set a bedtime and stick to it. Say, 10 p.m., so her body learns when to wind down. Ditch the afternoon coffee, even decaf can sneak in a jolt, and swap it for herbal tea, like chamomile, that soothes instead of stirs. Build a wind-down ritual. Deep breathing to settle the mind, a warm bath to melt tension, or a few pages of a gentle book, if focus allows. The bedroom matters too. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet, with curtains that block the streetlight's glow and a fan to hum away silence. If she's still restless, a quick jot in a notebook can offload nagging thoughts. It won't fix everything overnight, but bit by bit, Elena might find sleep creeping back, ready to cradle her again. 9. Fading senses. Elena used to breeze through novels or enjoy the chatter of a bustling cafe without a second thought. Now, her glasses are non-negotiable. Small print blurs into a frustrating haze without them, and noisy rooms turn conversations into a jumbled strain. She finds herself tilting her head or squinting to catch words, and soft sounds like birdsong sometimes slip away entirely. Dimming vision and hearing are hallmarks of aging, as the eye's lenses stiffen and the tiny hair cells in the ears wear down over decades of use. For seniors like Elena, this gradual sensory decline can feel isolating, as if the world is pulling back behind a veil of muffled sounds and fuzzy edges. What to do? Make regular checkups with an optometrist and audiologist a priority. Yearly visits can catch changes early and fine-tune solutions. Embrace tools like glasses or hearing aids without hesitation. They're not signs of weakness but practical bridges to staying connected. Experiment with different lens strengths or hearing aid models to find the perfect fit, and don't shy away from asking about new tech. Some devices now sync with phones for custom sound control. Acting proactively keeps you engaged in the moments that matter, from reading a grandchild's letter to hearing their laughter. 10. Temperature sensitivity. Elena once reveled in the simple pleasures of a sunny afternoon stroll or the bracing chill of a crisp fall morning, her body adapting effortlessly to the seasons. These days, though, she's bundling up against a breeze that never used to bother her or fanning herself in heat that feels suffocatingly close. Aging brings subtle but relentless shifts. Skin thins as collagen fades, blood vessels lose some of their zip, and the body's thermostat, regulated by the hypothalamus, starts to sputter. What used to be a refreshing change in weather now sends her reaching for a sweater or peeling it off in a flush of discomfort. Extremes, hot or cold, hit harder and linger longer. What to do? Dress strategically. Think breathable, light fabrics like cotton in summer, layered with a loose cardigan for flexibility, and cozy, insulating options like wool or fleece in winter. At home, keep comfort within reach. A portable fan for sticky days, a heating pad or small space heater for chilly nights. Sipping cool water or warm tea can also nudge your internal balance back in line. These small, deliberate adjustments don't just fend off discomfort, they let you reclaim the joy of a day outdoors or a quiet evening in. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. 11. Snapping more easily. Elena remembers when a delayed package or a blaring TV ad was just a minor hiccup. She'd shrug it off with a laugh or a patient sigh. Now, those same irritants spark a sharp grumble or a flash of impatience before she can rein it in. A neighbor's loud mower or a slow cashier can set her teeth on edge, and she's left wondering where her old calm went. Age can amplify irritability, driven by a cocktail of factors. Hormonal shifts as estrogen or testosterone dip, frayed nerves from years of stress, or even the quiet buildup of frustrations over a body that doesn't move like it used to. It's not a character flaw, it's biology and circumstance colliding. What to do? When the spark flares, pause and breathe deeply. Count to 5, letting the air steady you. It's a simple reset, but it works. Carve out a few minutes each day to reflect on what's good. A kind word from a friend, a warm meal, a favorite song. Gratitude isn't a cure-all, but it softens the jagged edges and shifts focus. If the grumpiness lingers, consider a chat with a doctor. Sometimes low vitamin D or a thyroid tweak plays a role. You're not turning into a crank, you're just navigating a brain and body in flux. 12. Relying on others. Independence was Elena's badge of honor. Decades of managing her own home, hauling groceries, and fixing what broke without a second thought. Now, though, the weight of a shopping bag stings her wrists, and scrubbing the bathtub leaves her winded. Asking her son to carry boxes or a neighbor to mow the lawn feels like a quiet defeat, a crack in the armor she's worn so long. Needing help doesn't come easy. It can sting like a loss of identity. Yet it's a natural pivot. Capabilities shift with time, and leaning on others becomes less a luxury and more a practical necessity. What to do? Flip the script. Accepting help isn't giving up. It's a smart trade-off that frees you for what you still love, whether it's gardening, cooking, or just savoring a slow morning. Start small. Ask family for a hand with one task, or hire a service for another. Guilt doesn't belong here. Build a network you trust, from friends who'll chat while they help to pros who handle the heavy stuff. Think of it like delegating at a job. You're not surrendering control, you're directing it. Embracing support takes guts, and that's its kind of strength. Well, there you have it. 12 unpleasant realities of aging that caught Elena, and maybe even you, by surprise, along with practical ways to handle them with grace. Aging might not come with a manual, but it does come with wisdom, and today we've shared some of that with you. So, what have you learned so far? Maybe it's a trick to boost your memory, a way to manage exhaustion, or how to embrace help without losing your spark. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you've learned today that you'll put into practice in your life. Your story could inspire someone else on this journey. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tips to thrive at every stage of life. Thanks for watching. Let's keep growing stronger together.